thanks for the support as a channel member, Exos Gaming. Now, I know you will irrationally support us getting knocked out in the first knockout round of the Champions League, probably forever, because we are Apollon, and that would be a nice forever for a club like Apollon to get to. But I'm kind of on a deadline. FM21 comes out soon. We've got 4 or 5 seasons left. I know it's Paris Saint-Germain in the first knockout round, but we've got to do it. This has got to be the year we start beating some of these bigger teams, or we're never going to win this Champions League. Hello and welcome to part 106 of the Greek Odyssey. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have both legs of our Champions League first knockout round tie against Paris Saint-Germain. Since you were last with me, we have continued to win lots of football matches. As you can see, we are through into the semi-final of the Greek Cup. We are running away with the league again. We're actually on course for our first ever invincible season. We've had some good seasons. We've never gone unbeaten all year. And with, 10, 12 games to go, we're not a million miles away. Well, we're not a million miles away. We've not lost a game. Obviously, the moment we lose one, immediately we're a million miles away again. But it would be nice to do an invincible season. I'd absolutely trade that in, though, for beating Paris Saint-Germain and getting through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Transfer news-wise, there's not been a huge amount. I actually accepted a £25 million offer for Paul Duffy on deadline day from Tottenham, and then changed my mind again and decided to continue ruining him. So Duffy is still here. It is a sad day for Apollon, though, because 6 months before he was due a testimonial, Valentinos Kalapitas has left the club. He's gone to play for Sheffield United. He went on the transfer list at his own request back in the summer. We turned down 4 or 5 offers over the course of January because I really wanted to keep him, not just because he's Kalapitas and sentimentality and nostalgia, but also because he's really useful to have around, being able to play anywhere across that back four. But he just dug his heels in and decided he wanted to go. He's given us 14 years and he got disruptive. He started whipping up the boys. Obviously, he got a lot of respect in the dressing room. We had to let him go for the sake of not having a Ryan Allen situation like we did last year, where we go into the knockout rounds with our dynamics ruined. As you can see, dynamics is looking pretty good. We've got very good team cohesion and excellent dressing room atmosphere. Yes, there's 5 players who'd all quite like to go and play for bigger and better clubs or Tottenham, but then they're only concerned. I mean, Hernandez is unhappy, but it's an internal unhappy. He's not asked for a transfer. There's no players getting involved in turning against me. It hasn't harmed our dressing room atmosphere, so I'm comfortable with that. Hopefully it doesn't cause us a huge problem. Transfers in, there was a little bit more. We had Perigil, who's a Spanish, 18-year-old Spanish under-21 international striker with 5-star potential. He came in from Atletico for £13 million. And then because one young striker wasn't enough, we signed Leon Costa as well, who came in from... Where did he come from? He came in from Red Bull Salzburg for £3.5 million. He's another 5-star potential striker, although apparently he's a 4-star potential striker. But still, and there's a few other youngsters who are going to be coming in to join us in the summer as well. We went out and raided some... hold on, let's try and look at the actual deals. We raided a couple of 15-year-olds. So Andrew Stanley and Max Thie are both coming in as well from German clubs. Marcus Acosta, by the way, has left us and turned into a good footballer. I always knew he was a good footballer. He just didn't fit into our system. But he's having the season of his career. Certainly the best season he's ever had in Europe. He's playing like the Argentinian Marcus Acosta. He was always Argentinian. The one who played in Argentina. This is the one that was at River Plate and always looked good. Averaging a 7.5, 12 goals from 22 starts. He is playing at a lower tier of club, although Freiburg are in the Bundesliga. They're not in Europe. So it's not like he's gone to another Champions League club and started banging in the goals, but he is banging in the goals in the Bundesliga, similar to what Damien is doing. So I was right about Acosta all along. He just didn't fit into my system. Can we get a big chunk of cash here? I actually think we'll get more if we wait there. What about Goofas? Again, we're just going to leave him to do his thing. But we've procrastinated enough. The time is upon us, and we need to get up against Paris Saint-Germain. We're away first match because we won our group. They were runners up in theirs, and this is the team we're putting out there to try and beat them. We're going with Tennessee in goal, a back four of Chermont, Bilbao, Jair and Solorzano, Milo at the base of the midfield, Font and Leica ahead of him, and then Carnevali, Richard and Pedraza are our front three. This is a very different looking team to the one that got through to the Champions League final. Was that 2 years ago now, or was it last year? Everything merges together in my head. When did we get to the Champions League final? I don't think it was last season, was it? No, last year we got knocked out in the first knockout round again. So the team that got through, the team that got through to that Champions League final, completely different. And entirely, I think Carnevali might have been in the team as a striker, but he's now moved out to the wing. It was probably Duffy and Dominguez in the middle. In fact, Leica had to play because Duffy and Dominguez were both injured, weren't they? But Bilbao wasn't here yet. Jair was still a youngster who wasn't playing yet. Solorzano was about, but Chermont was out in Spain getting his passport. So the only actual starters who've survived from that Champions League final less than 2 years ago, Tennessee, Milo, Carnevali, Solorzano. Very different team. Let's hope we can take this team to the Champions League final, similar to how we took the other one there. I think it's definitely an upgraded team. It's just when we got through to the final a few years back, we got quite a I won't say it was an easy run through. We had to play Barcelona and Real Madrid on the way, if I recall, but I don't think we had to play Paris Saint-Germain, or in fact, we played Paris Saint-Germain on the way, I think, as well. Maybe we got a really difficult run and we were actually a really good side and then lost to the worst team that we faced. That seems more like it. I need to go back and rewatch my old videos. Right, away leg, first up, we're happy with a draw. Always happy with a draw. Less happy with that bullet header ending up past Tennessee into the top corner. That was a bit spectacular. Beating at our own game, a set piece, a very good header, perfectly placed. We're 1-0 down. We need a goal. As long as we get a goal, if we lose 2-1, I'm fine. If we get a 1-1 draw, I'm very fine. And if we've somehow managed to come back and win this game, I'll be absolutely over the moon. But that certainly wasn't the way we wanted to start things. Let's ask for 10 minutes of passion. Milo playing it forward to Font, who plays it into the path of Pedraza, who's got Solorzano overlapping him, but he's not noticed him. Milo has, though, and here's Solorzano with space to run into. Solorzano with the cross doesn't find Richard, who's lurking in the middle, and now PSG have got a chance for a counter-attack, and we need to nip this in the bud, but we haven't. They've got him behind us here, and luckily we have the best goalkeeper in the world, 2 years running now, in the shape of Tennessee, who's there to make the save, and we go on to the next highlight, which starts with a PSG goal kick. And we need to be winning the ball back here. If they're taking the ball from their own goal kick to score a goal against us, I'm going to be very grumpy. Oh, again, thank goodness we've got Tennessee. Wowzers. Okay, we are going to ask for some creativity in the lead up to half time as we hope to grab a goal. I'd much prefer a 2-1 defeat to a 1-0 defeat because this way we're behind and we didn't grab an away goal. And that makes me sad. It's not a disaster to lose the first leg 1-0 away from home. It certainly shows it's going to be a tight tie, but historically, when we've had these really tight ties, we've ended up not doing very well in them. Bilbao's there, though! And did you know that man's 6'6", which is why he's so deadly from those kind of situations. In-swinger from Milo, header from Bilbao, there's our away goal. And they're two very similar goals. PSG did theirs from a free kick. We've done ours from a corner. But they've both come in from the same side. And both very, very firm headers. It's PSG 1, Apollon 1. And we would be absolutely delighted to take this scoreline back to the spaghetti had. This is a position we can put together a victory from. Right. Our two most attacking players are playing really poorly. So Sanchez and Sonny are both going to come on. If you think it's odd bringing on Sonny in a situation like this, he's done a bit of a Mick Powell, showing as a 4-star player, right up there, quality-wise, with Richard, having a very, very good season. Sonny is going to be a superstar. Sanchez is currently our top scorer jointly with Richard, but almost all of his goals have come domestically. He's not quite doing the business in Europe for us this year, which is why Carnevali started out wide for us today. But we'll go with Sanchez and Sonny, give those two an opportunity to try and get something. And we've got Unai Dominguez down there on the bench as well, who's another very, very, very good player. So we can get him in for Leica. It allows us to push Font a little bit further forward, and Dominguez can get in there. That three as a midfield is why Paul Duffy will never be a regular starter for us again. Dominguez, Font and Leica are another level above Duffy. And I think we probably do need to sell Duffy in the summer. I just don't want to sell him to Tottenham. Font is in here, though, running at the Paris Saint-Germain defence, and it's a really weak shot. When he had, I'm guessing that's Pedraza, the number 6, is it? He's got him there outside of him. He's got to play that to Pedraza and let him have a run at it and have a proper shot. But he didn't, and now it's PSG coming at us again in the 89th minute. 15 seconds until we hit 90 minutes. This would be a sickening time for that to happen. I said a 2-1 defeat is fine. It's less fine when their second goal comes on the stroke of full time, because that just feels like a punch in the gut as we head into the second leg. We know we can come back from a 2-1 deficit, but got to look at that and feel like we didn't need to lose 2-1. It could have been 1-1. If they grab a third here, I'm going to be sick all over my keyboard. Bilbao playing it back to Tennessee to Chermont. There's still 3 minutes of game left in this. Sanchez playing it over the top to Sonny. Sonny's in here. Oh, he's hit the post. Oh, Sonny could have become one of the heroes of all heroes if he can find a way to get that into the back of the net. And Tennessee, after all the praise I gave him earlier in the game, has just had an absolute nightmare. He's come for that, not got anywhere near it, and they've had a free header into an open goal. And it is 3-1, and all of a sudden, it feels like that's it for the Champions League for another year. Oh, my word. This competition is too hard to win. We need to figure out how to get through this second leg. That's sickening. Absolutely sickening. Well, I think that's been one of the longest gaps between two legs of a Champions League game we've had, which is probably for the best after getting beaten. We've gone and won 4 games on the bounce, and we've been able to use the first team a couple of times, rotate a couple of times, and I think this is the team we're going with. A little bit different from that first leg, going with Sonny and Chermont as the young Brazilian superstars, I guess. Chermont's still showing, this is Sonny, sorry, still showing 5-star potential, 3.5-star current ability. Chermont, 3-star current ability, 5-star potential. Let's go with the youngsters, the Brazilian wonder kids, because the other lot didn't work in the first leg. So we're going with Tennessee in goal, a back four of Kansarovic, Bilbao, Jair and Solorzano. Milo at the base of the midfield. Dominguez coming in alongside Leica instead of Font for this one. And then Chermont, Sonny and Pedraza are the front three. One change I do want to make to my bench as I think of it. Duffy off, Williams on. Let's get our aerial threat from the wide areas if we need him. I've just realised I'm talking about an aerial threat. I've not got Sanchez on the bench. Well, that's a mistake. Straight up, a big mistake. Right, assertively, we want to get revenge for what happened in that first leg. It should be 1-1. At the very least, at the very worst, it should be 2-1. We should not be 3-1 down. We need goals, and we need them early, and we need to capitalise on having this away goal, and we don't want to be seeing Paris Saint-Germain with a corner early on, but Milo heads clear. I thought Pedraza was going to deal with it, but it's actually fallen back to PSG again, who... Let's not give them a penalty here. Excellent stuff. Right, Chermont, turn and run. Use your pace. Use your dribbling ability. Get up there. Get across. And this is beautiful from Chermont, who's won a penalty. That's fantastic. He's picked that ball up on the edge of our area, run the length of the pitch, and won us a penalty. Now, don't mess this up. It's going to be, I think, Leica to take. It is Leica. And he scores, and that is a huge start to this game. 1-0 on the night. It's still 3-2 to PSG on aggregate, but we've got the start we needed to this match. Now it is all to play for with 75, 80 minutes of this tie still to go, and that's if it ends in normal time. Come on, boys. The comeback is on. Let's have 10 minutes of passion to celebrate the comeback being on. It's had absolutely no effect on anybody. What is that all about? Right. Free kick for them. Jair heads clear. And it's Chermont again. We've seen the damage Chermont can do. And he's running at him again. Look at the pace on this boy. That is a superb goal. There's been a little bit of criticism of Doris Lee Chermont in the comments recently because I think I brought him in maybe a year too young. Kev doesn't develop youth. I developed this one. I stuck with him when everyone told me he wasn't good enough. And look at what he's doing in a Champions League knockout game. That's on his weak foot. Scored one, made one, direct running both times. Absolutely superb from Chermont. What a young player he is. Now don't mess it up. If Sonny could step up and do similar sort of things, that'd be lovely. But Chermont, I'm taking it. That is a good call. Having him in this team, a big call, but it's worked. As long as we don't mess it up from here. All this bigging myself up. I mean, actually, to be fair, no one can argue that Chermont wasn't a good idea. If we mess it up from here, it's because someone else did something dumb. Sonny's having a really poor game, and I think we are going to bring Richard on for Sonny, because I genuinely think if we have the money this summer, we've got to bring Damien back. We keep trying. The amount of strikers we've tried since Damien's been gone, if we have a way to get the money together, Damien has to come back this summer. Because none of these other strikers are getting the job done. Right, Williams and Richard are on, and it's a very finely balanced tie at the moment. We have the corner. It's Milo with the in-swinger. He was aiming for Chermont, I think. It ends up with Richard. Milo gets it in again. Leica's there. Chermont's there. And, I mean, it's those two youngsters who are running the show at the moment, Leica and Chermont. And the highlight is continuing, which is odd. And Chermont's won the ball back. And I don't know what's going on. How did we not score there? Chermont is so up for this game. He probably should have scored there. Right. Final change. We're going to bring Font on for Dominguez. Get him into that midfield as well. Oh, my word. Come on, boys. We know what Paris Saint-Germain did to us at about this stage of the first leg, so we can't sit here and think the job is done with that away goal, because they could score at any moment, and it could be happening now, and this is going to be hideous. Oh, we've given away a penalty. No, we've given away a goal. Oh, everything was going so well. We've just switched off late in both legs, and you can't do it against a team like Paris Saint-Germain. And the comment section is going to be full of people saying, why are you still attacking, Kev? Because that's all we know how to do. We'd have lost earlier if we hadn't been attacking. Oh, right. We're out unless we do something spectacular. We've got to get Leica forward. We've got to go more attacking. We've got to get Williams further forward. I mean, we could potentially push Font up in here as well. Just really go for it. And just have Milo there. Have him in there as a playmaker. Leica in there as well. And just... we're going for it, boys and girls. We've got minutes. Only minutes left. Can't even demand more. 5 minutes. Right, there's 2.5 minutes of these 5 remaining. This is an awful way to go out of the Champions League. If football matches were 85 minutes long, we've beaten PSG comfortably over 2 legs there. We're so close. We are so close to being such a good side. Because these big clubs aren't thumping us anymore. We just need these youngsters to get a little older. How good's he going to be when he's 23, 24? Problem is keeping him. Because now Barcelona are sniffing around him. He already wants to leave to play in a better division. And this is the problem we've got here at Apollon. Dominguez is a little bit older. He's 24. So Dominguez is less part of this comment. But these 3, Leica, Chermont, Jair, are our 3 best young players. And they're all wanting out. And I don't blame them. Because they're ready to step up and go and win Champions Leagues and play for Barcelona. Who wants Leica? Barcelona. Barcelona want Chermont. Who wants Jair? Atletico. They're ready. They're ready to go and play in these leagues. Tottenham and Barcelona. These are the boys I promised we'd compete in the Champions League this year. Genuinely think we might have to lose Dominguez and Jair now. Because I promised them we'd be competitive and we haven't been. These boys are getting called up for Brazil. Oh. It's going to be an interesting summer. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. and thank you very much for watching.